Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Becca and today I am talking about my top 10, at the moment, most anticipated 2020 releases. One of my goals this year is to be better at knowing what's coming out, so I am trying. A lot of these books probably won't seem that diverse to you or kind of like all falling in the same genre, and that's because I think I'm really bad at like knowing what literary fiction is coming out, like what people are talking about and whatnot. So most of these books I would say are probably fantasy or YA and romance. Fantasy and romance probably the most. So let's go ahead and get started, and I will talk about my first anticipated book of 2021, and that is A Court of Silver Flames by Sarah J. Maas. This is the fourth book in the series, but it's following another character, which I'm really excited about. It's following, if you don't know, the original, the series is A Court of Thorns and Roses. Our main characters in that series are Feyre and Rhysand. So this one is following Feyre's sister Nesta, and I'm really excited about this book. I originally thought that it was only going to be like a 300-page novella or something like that, or like as short as the last book, but this says the hardcover is 648 pages. So I'm ready for a big fantasy book. So I'm pretty excited about that one. The next book that I am pretty excited about is People We Meet on Vacation by Emily Henry, and this is expected to be published on May 11th. This is her second romance. The first one was Beach Read, which I really loved. It's one of my top 10 favorite books of 2020 and definitely one of my favorite romances, and I'm really excited for her new one. So this one kind of sounds like a friends to lovers situation. Poppy and Alex are our two main characters. It sounds like they had some trouble in the past and that they decide to go on one last vacation with one another, and I'm assuming that a romance ensues. The next book, also romance, that I'm pretty excited about is Second First Impressions by Sally Thorne, and this comes out April 13th. So here's the thing. So I know like everyone is obsessed over The Hating Game and that there's going to be a new a movie adaptation of it, which is pretty cool. I don't remember a single thing about The Hating Game. So I either read it really fast or I just didn't think it was very memorable. So we'll see. I am going to try to reread it because I really want to reread it before the adaptation comes out because I really want to see the adaptation. So we'll see what happens. But this book also sounds really freaking adorable. It's basically about this woman who is like a manager of a retirement home, and there are these two like older women who hire an assistant who happens to be like a muscular tattooed man. So I think that's going to be really interesting and quite hilarious. So I'm really excited about that. I'm picturing like a muscular tattooed man being the assistant of two old women. Just like, this book is gonna be so funny and I can't wait for it. Another romance that I'm really excited about for multiple reasons. So this One Last Stop by Casey McQuiston. First of all, the cover. I am obsessed with the cover and the colors that they chose, where it's like the pink on the top and then kind of like a mauve color and then a deeper purple. Love it. I would probably read this book for the cover alone. I did also really enjoy Red, White, and Royal Blue, so that's another reason that I'm really excited about this book. Let me see how many pages it's supposed to be. It's supposed to come out June 1st. I should have said that first, sorry. The paperback is supposed to be 432 pages, so I'm a little wary about that just because I did feel that Red, White, and Royal Blue was too long, so I have a feeling this one might fall into the same category as that. But it does sound really cute, and I probably will fly through it anyway because it's a romance. It's about a girl named August who moves to New York City trying to prove that she can be on her own and just be more independent. So she's pretty much having like a rough time of it, and then she's on the subway and meets Jane. Jane seems like a mystery to her, and then, you know, romance, you know? The next book is really exciting. And it is Under the Whispering Door by TJ Klune. This is expected to be published September 21st. I'm really hoping that it does get that published date because I really want to read it this year. I think it's going to be just as magical and mystical and fun and just as amazing as The House in the Cerulean Sea. I definitely kind of get the same type of vibes from the description, so I'll just read a little blurb for you. Under the Whispering Door is a contemporary fantasy with TJ Klune's signature quirk and charm about a ghost who refuses to cross over and the ferryman he falls in love with. It sounds like it's going to be absolutely adorable, but also have these really in-depth themes like grief, hope. So yeah, I'm really excited about this book. The next book is also pretty much a cover buy. I've already pre-ordered this book, and I don't pre-order books that often, but it's Lore by Alexandra Bracken. I love this cover. I can't. It's amazing. So basically the book is about, as a punishment for past rebellions, 9 Greek gods are forced to walk the earth as mortals, hunted by the descendants of ancient bloodlines, all eager to kill a god and seize their divine power and immortality. Long ago, Lore Perseus fled that brutal world in the wake of her family's sadistic murder by a rival line, turning her back on the hunt's promises of eternal glory. For years, she's pushed away any thought of revenge against the man, now a god, responsible for their deaths. So, regardless of what this book is about, I'm gonna get in it and I'm gonna read it anyway. But it does sound very intriguing. I have not read any of Alexandra Bracken's books, and the only concern I have is that it's gonna fall into kind of like a formulaic YA fantasy. So I'm really hoping that it's just unique and it stays that way. Also, Medusa is one of my all-time favorite Greek mythological figures, and so the cover obviously reminds you of Medusa, and it doesn't say anything in the description about any kind of Medusa type character, but I'm going to assume because of the cover that there is going to be some kind of Medusa-like figure, so I'm really excited about it. I'm so excited. Like I said, I already pre-ordered this book and I don't do that often, so excited. Can't wait. When does this come out? January 5th. It came out today, so it should be coming soon. So definitely super excited. The next book is definitely a shock to me, and that's The Maidens by Alex Michaelides. So I did not read his other book, The Silent Patient, that came out, I don't know, 2019 maybe, because it sounded completely uninteresting to me. So never plan on reading it, never want to read it. I've also heard that a lot of people either really love it or they find it really just kind of obvious. So not gonna read it, and that's okay with me. But then I saw this book, which also the cover is very intriguing, and then I read the synopsis and I was just like, oh, what? So let's see, it says, from the author comes a spellbinding tale of psychological suspense weaving together Greek mythology, murder, and obsession. So this one is kind of going into that dark academic vibe with, you know, a murder at a university, and so that way it's kind of similar to The Secret History by Donna Tartt. I think this is going to be a great book. I'm really excited for it. It comes out June 1st, so we'll see. I'm really hoping that this one's a winner because definitely don't care for his other book. The next book is also one of those books that just has an amazing cover that just drew me in, and that's Red Island House by Andrea Lee. This one is probably the only literary fiction book that's on this list because I'm really bad at finding them, but this one definitely seems like a winner. It's basically about a woman who gets married, and then her husband builds a beach house in Madagascar. It says, Shay has become the somewhat reluctant mistress of a sprawling household caught between her privileged American upbringing and education and her connection to the continent of her ancestors. I think that this might have a kind of paranormal aspect to it. I'm not entirely sure. I don't want to read too much into these books because I like to be at least somewhat surprised about their content. So we'll see if that's right, but this sounds just like it's going to be a really interesting book. Again, it's one of those covers, you know, just drew me in. It looks really awesome. And I think this is going to be one of those books that kind of catches you by surprise, maybe. So we'll see. The next book is by an author that I really enjoy. I really loved his first series, and that's A History of What Comes Next by Sylvain Neuvel. He wrote the Sleeping Giants trilogy, if you're not familiar with him, and I really loved it, so I automatically added this to my TBR because I don't think he can go wrong. This one does sound like kind of interesting. Definitely has some similar things to his previous series, but also quite different because it's historical fiction about like a girl who's trying to lure a man away from the Nazi party and into the American rocket program. So it's about the space race. And then the last sentence, a darkly satirical first contact thriller. So there's going to be aliens as well. So this is going to be interesting. I'm really excited for it. It sounds like a very interesting combination of historical fiction and science fiction, and I'm here for it. And the last book that I really want to talk about is For the Wolf by Hannah Witten. I'm so excited for this book. I definitely caught my eye because it says for fans of Uprooted and The Bear and the Nightingale, and I love both of those books. This kind of has a very similar introduction as Uprooted. The first daughter is for the throne, the second daughter is for the wolf. It's about a young woman who must be sacrificed to the legendary Wolf of the Wood to save her kingdom. So it's similar to Uprooted in that way. And then it says, but not all legends are true, and the wolf isn't the only danger lurking in the wilder wood. So I think this is going to be absolutely fantastic. It's like a Red Riding Hood retelling, and I think it's going to be really fun and also very intriguing, and I'm very excited to read this in June. June 15th is when it is expected to be published, so definitely look out for that one because I think it's going to be incredible. And quickly, some other books that I am excited for, just from what I've been hearing. The Gilded Ones by Namina Forma, 1,000 Ships by Natalie Haynes, In the Quick by Kate Hope Day, All Is Well by Mona Awad, Andy Ware's new book, Project Hail Mary, and then I'm a little bit intrigued by Courtney Summers' The Project. I didn't like her first book, so we'll see if I like this one, but yeah, so those are some other books that I am really interested to read this year, and I can't wait until they come out. So I hope that you may have found a new book to look forward to this year, and I hope you enjoy this video. Give it a thumbs up if you did, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you in a new video soon.